Yeah. Oh, excuse me.
Welcome back to Pinkies Up. With me, I got One Suit Senpai. Today we'll be reviewing Chapter 2 of Arcane.
Oh, sounds nice.
Sounds
Excited
nice.
about it, man.
Excited. Got a little time skip. It's Vi, right? Vi is badass.
Nigga, like, who gives a fuck what any of the names are? At this point, it's fucking a kick-ass show, no matter what you fucking say for any of the names. I guess 5 fucking characters wrong. You literally are sending me who the real character is,
and
I'm
like,
like,
play the fucking game.
I'm like, oh yeah, that motherfucker makes sense, right? Yeah, but I'm not reading any fan theories or anything like that. I literally am just enjoying the fuck out of this show.
Yeah.
Right. Yo, I'm going straight off the bat, right? I'm giving it another 5 of 5. I didn't think it was as good as last week's, except for the last episode of this week. It's not even the best episode because the last episode of the last chapter was the best, but this is the second best episode, is the last episode of this chapter.
Right. So same thing. I'm going to give it a 5. There was a couple things that like, not that I didn't like, but like maybe bothered me a little bit, but it wasn't enough for me to drop it a score at all. So like, for example, the flashback that we get in episode 1,
Vander?
Not Vander's flashback. It was
the guy with the fucking eye that's fucked up.
It was what? No, that was chapter 1, right? When we got the flashback with those two. It was a flashback for it was for the marksman chick, the enforcer,
Caitlin.
Yeah. So remember the flashback where they showed her shooting?
Yeah, with
that flashback
the fucking
for me,
lady that died.
Yeah. The flashback for me was just kind of pointless, especially from like a writing point of view. So when you do a flashback,
I think because it never showed the aspect of the other lady being a great marksman, right? They showed her as the top enforcer, but they never showed her as a great marksman. Like, you could be a great enforcer without being a great marksman.
Well, yeah, but so one of the rules, like especially for screenwriting, when you're doing a flashback, there has to be like, or even when you're doing a book, when you're doing the flashback, it can't just be like a flashback you're throwing in there. The audience or the reader have to want that flashback. And when it started, had it been maybe a little bit different, it would have been okay. But I really didn't care about getting a flashback, especially for that scene. It really didn't tell me anything.
So, and I agree with you, but I feel like, so the biggest issue we had with What If, right, is that they've really fucking tried to overdo too much, right? And they're focusing so heavily on Jinx and Vi.
Yeah.
Right? And Jace feels like a third character, super well brought out.
Right.
Everybody else that they're trying to introduce is a little too much, but it's nice.
Well, for Victor, I thought everything we did for Victor was fine.
Victor feels okay. It doesn't feel
I wanted
as good
his flashbacks.
It doesn't feel as good as Jace.
Right.
Right. And I think they're trying to do the same thing with Victor that they did with Caitlyn. But Caitlyn, I don't think that backstory worked as well as everybody else's, right? It was just the worst backstory of everybody. But it was decent. It was decent enough to where you were like, even if I don't believe she was a great marksman, still beating the top bruiser of the fucking crew works. You know what I mean? Like,
but had we not even gotten that flashback, it wouldn't have changed.
It would have been
anything.
fine.
Yeah, it would have been fine. Anything. Exactly.
You're right. 100%. You're right. Yeah, I don't disagree with that at all. But so, what's your least favorite scene from this new chapter? And then do your favorite, because my favorite is it's one of the best scenes I've ever seen.
So my least, that flashback is going to be my least favorite, just because it had no meaning. There was no meaning for it. It was like a waste of 2 minutes. And
I'm
and that tells you how good the show is. Is like that's
yeah.
the worst thing I could pick
Yeah,
out.
the worst thing is that
That's it, yeah.
flashback was there. Shit, man. If I had to put my least favorite thing in there, right? You just telling me what your least favorite thing was, like I liked it.
Right.
Oh fuck. There's two scenes that come up of like my favorite scenes. It's
Uh-huh.
hard for me to even like hate on the show. I just enjoy it so much. My
Right.
brother that doesn't watch anime and fucking gives a fuck less about it.
Yeah.
Loves fucking everything about it.
Well, I have to like
Um,
break it down like in a format perspective for me to like pick something I don't like. You
yeah,
know?
I'm thinking right now, and I'm not shit. There's nothing fucking that I disliked about it. Right, I enjoyed everything. I
Yeah.
thought it was slower,
Yeah.
is what I would say. Right, it took. There's probably an episode who was just filling story in.
It was like
This
development for
time,
all the characters.
yeah.
Yeah.
Versus last time you got something every episode with some action.
Right.
Right, whether it was the kid stealing from a building, whether it was something,
People
there was action
dying.
every
Yeah.
episode. This one, I feel like they saved it all for that third episode. That's the biggest weakness of this show.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and I'll jump right into my favorite because I'll start before you, because if you pick your favorite the same as mine, I'd be upset.
Right.
But there's a scene where Jinx is doing she's going crazy on a fucking rooftop.
That's my favorite scene when she's talking to herself.
Yes, she's talking to herself. And right before that, you realize she's fucking with the dead dude that died.
Both
that
of them.
used
Yeah.
to steal shit. They called him Jinx.
Yeah.
And the goggles on her head are the fat kid's goggles.
Yeah.
And I realized it in that scene where it showed them both imbued in her. And I kind of realized it before. I was like, yo, is that the dead fucking kid?
Just talking
what
to
the
him and
fuck?
shit.
And
Yeah,
I was like, holy shit.
When the enforcer was like, we didn't say anything. She was like, shut up. It was like, oh shit. She's losing it, bro. Like,
Yeah.
well, not losing it. She's nuts. She's
Yeah.
literally like nuts.
But she is so good. That feels like a Joker character to me. It
Yeah.
feels like how Harley Quinn should have been done in the DC universe.
Yeah. I don't know who her voice actor is either, but they did a great job.
Oh, they all killed it. And
Yeah.
then my other favorite scene is, so I mentioned in the previous video that the hookers are all outside,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
When they went to the club to find the information from the hooker,
Yeah.
and it was the little troll bitch that I thought was like one of the funniest and best characters.
Yeah.
And the first one, just aesthetically.
Yeah.
Like, you're making a fucking integral universe with a whole bunch of different creatures in there. And you have the fucking the madam, the fucking maitre d', the queen fucking whore,
Yeah.
right? As being a troll character.
Yeah.
And you go to her for information. I thought it was fucking great.
Yeah.
with
And even
Caitlyn-
her character, like the dialogue, like it wasn't like shit dialogue. Like everything
Yeah.
they say in this show has purpose. Like there's no points that are like that besides that flashback. Well, I mean, and that's if I pick it, but even the flashback had like some importance. But all the dialogue has meaning for something. And again, the voice actors are so good.
Yeah. Jace smashing old girl, Karma. You mean one of my main supports?
Yeah.
Doing his thing was nice because it allowed that freedom for Caitlyn to go be a lesbian or whatever she is. Right? Like,
they're doing like a play with that, right? Like it seems like they're pushing that vibe.
You don't know if she's a
Caitlyn
lesbian
type. Yeah.
but I'd be fine with that, right? That's a good lesbian like setup.
Mm-hmm.
Like Jace, you could tell was trying to smash her for a minute, but she's playing, oh, I'm too strong of a woman, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
Get with a strong woman. Like, I'm fine with the way they're setting it up because you've seen her walk through and she's with another whore, right? She went with a man at first. You could tell got weird, and as Vi's walking out,
she's like having a great time.
Yo, and she's entranced by that shit.
Yeah.
Like, that's a story building that I want for a lesbian
Right.
chick, right? If you're gonna make a lesbian, give me some context to it. Don't just be like, oh, well, you know, she's a lesbian now. Don't do
And
that.
that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, just be like, build onto it. Like, yeah, she might have been straight, but she was just fucking enthused with women for a little bit.
Right.
How
The
did she
only
get
dudes
there?
she's around are like trying to like keep her in her
smashed.
place and shit.
You know,
and,
yeah, like something, bro. Like Jace, you
Yeah.
could tell that nigga was trying to smash.
yeah.
And yo, he was pent up for so long, he might have hit already. But when he see old girl, yo, she's exotic as fuck too. Karma, bro. The way they do her,
Yeah.
she reminds me of in 300 the golden nigga that comes down on a chariot carried by
Xerxes.
motherfuckers. Xerxes. She's
Yeah.
like the female version of Xerxes, bro.
Mm.
But with a little more pizzazz.
For this episode, I think one of my favorite parts was the huge character development on Jace, because I was not expecting him to turn into a piece of shit.
He's not though.
Bro, yes, the way he did Heimerdinger.
Oh no, Heimerdinger deserved that shit.
Nah.
Right. Yo, before he spoke his speech, bro, I was like, I'm talking to my old lady, and I'm like, yo, Heimerdinger's being this fucking pragmatic motherfucker because he's already lived 300 years.
Yeah, but
like,
he knows that they're fucking going down a bad path, bro.
It don't matter though. Humans don't live that long. I was
so
like,
you vote the dude out?
It was a smart fucking decision.
It was a piece of shit. This isn't Game of Thrones.
Yo, he's not a Game of Thrones type nigga either. He just realizes, right? So what situation is Jason? He's in a situation where his boy, one of the few dudes that stuck by him when he was building his science, is dying.
Yeah.
Right? Heimerdinger saying, yo, he needs to die for the betterment of society.
Right.
Right? Heimerdinger comes in to say that, and Heimerdinger shit on you every time, right? Every time Jace goes to Heimerdinger for some sort of respect, because he wants his counsel, he wants them to say, yeah, you're doing a good thing.
Right.
Heimerdinger's like, nah, you're a piece of shit, bro. That'll kill everybody. And
Jason's
Jason's like,
right.
yo,
It does end up killing everybody.
Yeah, it don't matter, but yeah.
I don't think he needed to vote him out. I think there was ways around that. I mean, he already had everybody on his side.
Yeah, but you vote him out, right? And you got to run a 4-3 split at that point. Because at this point, he's got 8 people in the council.
Yeah.
When you vote Heimerdinger out, all you got to do is do a 4-3 split. And Heimerdinger,
I guess there was 3 people who didn't vote at the end, right? There were like 3 lights off.
They asked for unanimous.
Yeah.
There was everybody that voted him out. Every single person voted him out.
Oh, I could swear there was 3 lights
because they made it a big fucking scene, and then it was at the end, and the last person to vote him out was Jace. Yeah. Right? To do the final fucking vote, Jace was like,
up.
Later, bitch.
The founder of the city, like, I mean, I get it. Yeah, the dude has been alive for 400 years. I mean, it's sort of like the whole Biden situation we have now. Like, do you want a 90-year-old guy
running your shit? Yo, but
shit,
Heimerdinger, I would kind of be okay with, right? Because he sees the betterment of the future.
Yeah, and he's still going to live for like another 400 years.
Yeah, if it's about keeping society good for your children and for your grandchildren, that's fine, right? But for right now, the people are going to suffer too much. Jace's main objective is, yo, we need to help the people now because who knows what's going to happen in the future, right? We understand that you have a vision for the future, but nobody lives 400 years like you, motherfucker.
Right. That was the only thing that he did say that was understandable when he's like, we're humans. We're not going to live like you.
I said that before. Right before Jay said it. And when Jay said it, that shit grew. That made me more ingrained to liking him. Right? As soon as Jace was
he's becoming a piece of shit.
For what?
Because he's like falling into that absolute power that causes like corruption, absolute corruption.
Karma's fucking that nigga over, bro. She's like seducing him with the pussy. And that nigga just left her in the middle of the night. And then she's painting the next day. And he's like, yeah, let me lay in your lap. I need you to make decisions.
Yeah. But I mean, look, already, right? So he's not on a hero arc because as soon as he was faced with adversity, with getting the target on his back, what did he do? He went and he made friends with everyone,
which was smooth as fuck. Yo, and that
right. But if he was on a hero arc, he would have been like, I don't give a fuck. Like, this is what needs to be done.
Question: did you see anybody? What is the metal faces dude's name that's part of the council?
Oh, the robot dude.
Yeah.
I can't remember. There's so many characters in the show.
So
I guess even in the game, there's so many characters.
Yeah. So that guy was curious as to if he was fuck, I don't even remember what his name is right now, but I was saying it earlier today. Like I was thinking about like the characters and shit, and if they brought him in like that, he's a sniper that does 4 shots. But the issue is he's a serial killer, right? And his goal is like to kill people in miraculous fashion.
Right.
So his ultimate move is a 4-shot special where you can kill anybody in like 3 shots, but his 4th shot does extra damage because he likes to kill in 4s. And everything he does is in a mesmeric of numbers. Like he's like this fucking whimsical serial killer that has to
like
kill.
OCD.
Yeah, but he's like an opera singer as well.
What the
So
fuck?
so you know how the dude's doing the opera shit? And they're
Yeah.
playing violin and it's just a real magical environment. And
Right.
Jace is running around talking to everybody. That's the same environment that this same dude would be in. Let me see. I gotta find the characters real quick because I'm fucking up. I don't even know what his name is.
I'm looking for the council members. There's Ludo, Yak, Zudo, Blinked, Counselor Flex, Flunt, Professor Cammy, Clab, Thud, Ula. There's no pictures. I don't know.
There's no Karma. The black girl's name ain't Karma.
I don't see Karma.
Bro, that would fuck me up so bad. Because I just been lying to niggas for the past 2 episodes. Yeah, right. Like when you told me Dr. Mundo wasn't Dr. Mundo and shit, and he was singed, that made sense to me immediately as soon as you said it. Right. Because his build didn't seem right for Dr. Mundo, neither did his story. But
and then once you see them, they're identical.
Oh, yeah. I was like, oh shit, yeah, you're right, man. Really, Ivern. Jace looks the same. They did a great job with him. I was thinking Jarvan would be who the police guy is.
Mm-hmm.
But they all run in like the same thing. Yo, look Karma up and tell me she isn't the same.
Okay. Tilt over.
So Ezreal's who I said looked like the one dude from before. The guy that poisoned himself and got fucked up in the end.
Yeah.
I'll be able to tell you 1 minute. There's so many fucking champions. I'm fucking freaking out over here.
It's weird that they just don't have it like written down when you search for the council members.
Singed, Scion, Swain, Talia. You could probably run her out of that fucking same village. Yo, and they had the one dude reading the Teemo book, which was a solid fucking pickup for that show.
Yeah.
Because Teemo is like one of the most annoying characters, and he's like always a go-to for me. If I'm fucking up in League of Legends, bro, I'll use Teemo just to fucking fuck dudes up. He's like one of the most easiest to use champions.
So what happens with Heimerdinger after this?
What do you mean?
He's still alive, right? Like in the game and shit.
Yeah, Heimerdinger's fucking. He's one of my champs that I use too.
Right.
So he throws out turrets. He has missiles that shoot out, and he has a stun bomb, right?
Okay.
And his ultimate is to increase each ability tenfold. Or tenfold's maybe a little too much, but so instead of one fucking rocket shooting out, you shoot out 5 rockets. Instead of the stun just sitting there, it will bounce until it fucking stuns somebody. Right. And then the cannons that you fucking put down on the ground, you can put a large cannon out that does like twice as much damage.
And do these characters like level up as you play? Like,
yeah, so it's to 18. 18's max level every time. Everybody starts at level. But due to the amount of creatures you kill and the amount of people you kill,
yeah,
every game is like a fast speed version of Diablo.
Mm-hmm.
Diablo 2, Diablo 3. Like,
and you control the actual character.
You control the actual character. Put fucking Diablo 2, Diablo 3 on steroids and have a PvP.
Right.
In the middle of it. So the Jhin.
That's his name?
Jhin, Ghin, is who I thought it was. Right? And his fucking character. So here's his fucking thing. Yo, he's a meticulous criminal psychopath who believes murder is art. Once an Ionian prisoner, but freed by shadowy elements. Within Ionia's ruling council, the serial killer now works as their cabal's assassin. Using his gun to paintbrush, Jhin creates works of artistic brutality, horrifying victims and onlookers. He gains a cruel pleasure from putting out a gruesome theater, making him the ideal choice to send the most powerful of messages.
Oh, shit.
Terror.
I'm looking at the voice actors right now, and the voice of Jace. Do you watch Lucifer, right?
Yeah.
Dan
from Lucifer?
Yeah, that's Jace.
The nigga that got cuckolded and shit?
Yeah. Well, and murdered.
Yeah, it's a little spoiler alert. Dan gets
That shit's
fucking
been
murdered.
ended. That was like 2 seasons
Yo,
ago.
Netflix keeps pushing more seasons out, bro. And you're like, yo, I thought it was supposed to be done. The
Yeah.
very last one. And they're like, no. Yeah, we need to make a little bit more money off of it.
I'm actually really upset that for the show Sandman, they didn't get the guy who plays Lucifer to play him, the same character in that show. It makes no sense, especially because Neil Gaiman works on both of them. They're both his characters. So unless he didn't want to, I don't know. I don't know what to do. The voice actors look, they're actually really good.
Yeah. So did any of them say ergot when you were reading the subtitles?
Ergot? I don't remember. Like I said, there's so many characters in these episodes that just, I happened to see that because that was like at the end.
And did Warwick pop up underneath?
No, it didn't.
It didn't.
It just said Vander.
It said Vander. Okay.
Yeah.
Yo, so like Warwick would fucking, because they switched him to like a Noxian type over time, and I think they've just been developing the heroes and putting them into this world.
Right.
So from the beginning of the game, some of these champions were just champions to start.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And the story is developing around all of them to just make them cohesive. And as they do that, they change their abilities, they change their shit. And it like is annoying sometimes, but sometimes it's cool, right? Like if you've been using the same champion for a minute, just using new abilities on the same guy feels pretty cool. It feels like a new hero.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm at with it, like just trying to figure everything out and everything else. But in the end, man, I just have nothing but good shit to say about the show.
Yeah. So the fan theory, they were saying, so because Vander's dead, he doesn't have his memory. He has like pieces. And apparently because it's only pieces, but he's basically a new being, I guess the Warwick theory. But I guess Warwick goes after Vi and Powder in the game. Like he's constantly going after them. And they were saying that that's the reason why he's going after them, is because he's connected to them, but he doesn't know why.
So let me pull up. I'm about to pull up Warwick shit right now. I'm literally on the League of Legends site with all the heroes.
Yeah.
It takes me 10 minutes to go through every goddamn champion in here. And I have so many cool fucking champions. Right? So if you talk about storytelling, the amount of fucking champions in this shit.
Yeah, there's like over 150 or something like that.
That live in their own fucking worlds is fucking incredible.
And what's crazy is the champions go back like, because the story spans from like the creation of time till like wherever it's at now, and there's so many champions before you even get to like where the show's at, with all the wars with Dark and Light and the Watchers and what the Voidlings, that's what they're called, right?
Yeah. So here's what Warwick's fucking thing is: the uncaged wrath of Zaun. Warwick. Warwick is a monster who hunts the gray alleys of Zaun. Transformed by agonizing experiments, his body is fused with an intricate system of chambers and pumps. Machinery filling his veins with alchemic rage. Bursting out of the shadows, he preys upon those criminals who terrorize the city's depths. Warwick is drawn to blood and driven mad by its scent. None who spill it can escape him, right? And the reason that you would attribute Warwick to him is just due to the fact that Vander was a pretty good fucking. Is there anybody out there? Is there anybody there?
What happened? That was weird.
Yeah. Well, anyway, it's possible.
Right.
Yo, what in the fuck?
Is it doing it again?
Say something again, little Negro.
Can you hear me?
Oh, I can now.
That's weird.
We're locked in. We are locked in. Yeah, you just died for a second.
Yeah, I don't know what that's about. Like I'm linked in, so I have like a. Is it happening again?
No. You're money.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm corded up, so I don't know.
Yeah, but Warwick, very possible solution for him. Well, I looked at anybody as possible Warwick, right?
Mm-hmm.
When they start putting the poison and shit into him.
Right.
But I think the best pick that you have is fucking Vander, due to Warwick not being like a fucking, he's a hunter and shit like that, but like who would be the best, right? Hand-to-hand combat, has the ability previously, instead of taking a wolf,
Yeah.
Which so when I seen Singed, right, which I thought was Dr. Mundo,
Hmm.
because the title Doctor I assumed would only be ascribed to the dude working in the fucking
The lab.
vials and shit.
Yeah.
From anybody that they showed in the show, and I know he's like part of that poisonous shit they're all ingesting and shit.
Shimmer. The
What
shimmer.
is that what it's called? Shimmer?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know what the fuck that shit was called, but the shit that
Yeah.
everybody's drinking and getting fucking
Yeah,
high
yeah.
on like
It's
meth.
called shimmer.
So like that's part of like his character. Like he drinks it while he's fucking fighting and starts regenerating. Oh, Doctor Mundo.
Oh,
And he
okay.
sounds fucking retarded and shit. He's like a simpleton, but
Yeah.
you know he's a fucking genius if he was a doctor and his experiment just fucked up.
So he's like a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde type situation.
Exactly. Exactly.
And
Right. And like, so a lot of these champions are based off of fucking great heroes and shit already. Like I said, they're doing a great job with the lore and the
yeah.
history behind it. But some of these champions, I don't know this for 100% for a fact, but some of them were just made because people thought they were cool.
Well, yeah, right. Because you're not expecting the game to. But the thing is, like especially when games like this first start out, the lore is not going to be that deep because you're not expecting it to expand as much as it did. But when it does, people start asking questions and they want answers, right?
No, yeah, I think that's exactly what happened, right? Because how do I play a game for fucking 10 years and not know any of the fucking lore?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, part of it's because I just enjoyed the game. But there's dudes that also go into the game so deeply and give me enough of the lore that I'm fine with it. But there's also these people that are just so into it.
Yeah, it's the same thing like Elder Scrolls, right? Like I can play an Elder Scrolls game for like months, right? Months and get pretty deep into it. But then you have like people who like analyze every single piece of lore in the game. Like on another level. And like I get it, but like at the same time, I mean, I would probably just go read a book or something. Not like going through the game and actually opening up books that they have in there and reading every single thing.
Yo, and then League of Legends also has a lore fucking pyramid too. Where they were doing these graphic novels on this shit that were pretty fucking tight.
Yeah.
Like
I think I've seen some clips of some actually.
Sentinels of Light and shit like that, which I
Yeah.
thought was fucking trash. But some of the stories are cool behind it. Like I
Yeah.
do like they got this nigga Lucian, black dude, right? People call him Obama and shit in the chats. They're playing the game. Just like as a joke. But yo, he's a cold ass dude, cold ass ADC, does fucking mad damage and shit.
Yeah.
And his wife got fucking picked up by Thresh, and Thresh is the support.
Mm-hmm.
So his wife sits in a fucking chalice and shit. And what's funny as fuck is when you have Lucian, whose wife got picked up, whose Senna is his wife, and she comes back as like a spirit to fight alongside all the champions and shit in the actual game. But one of the best supports in the game for a little bit was Thresh, who took Lucian's wife and will be fighting with Lucian. You know what I mean? So you'll have a team with Lucian and Thresh, and it took his fucking wife, but they're ripping the fucking game apart.
Yeah.
It's like shit like that. You're putting more behind it, but in the end, it's a PvP fucking game.
Yeah, exactly.
So no matter how you fucking do the story, it's gonna fucking shit on some of the compilations you're using and shit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, now that the show's out, I mean, obviously it's gonna go. It should start matching up and going a little bit deeper, and it makes the characters more fun to play too when you have like a show and you can actually see the lore.
Oh, which is funny because I played a game earlier today and I had a fucking V and Jinx on the same fucking team.
Oh, that's gonna be like the two biggest played characters now.
Yo, y'all motherfuckers, Jinx is already a pretty heavily played character.
Mm-hmm.
V was not as much a played character.
Right. But now, especially with all the new people coming.
Decent usage rate. I'm trying to think. They got to do one on Zed. Zed's an overplayed character, and the two brothers that you talked of, the win shitters, they already have like a fucking digital fucking thing going on. Yasuo.
Yeah.
And who's the other one?
Yeah, the clip that I was watching looked like an actual like anime.
Oh yeah, it was cold. And they just talk about their fucking history.
Yeah. And so did you watch the trailers for chapter 3?
Yeah, I'm fucking stoked for it. That's gonna be the best chapter, hands
So I
down.
haven't watched it yet, but is it going to be another big time skip?
Uh,
Or
this
do
one
they pick
seems
up?
a little more moderate,
Okay. So
right? The time skip instead of seemed like a 4-year gap, right?
okay.
From the last one and this one.
Yeah.
For Vi to develop that much and Jinx is still underdeveloped, Jinx always stays underdeveloped.
Yeah.
Jinx looks as close to Jinx looks, except maybe she looks a little bit older in the face. That's the only difference in Jinx.
Right.
Vi looks close to looking like Vi too already.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I'm not sure, but it's only a temporary time skip because Jace looks a little bit older
Yeah.
in the game, but he's the only one.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
if
I
that
mean,
counts, if that council member isn't Karma, I'm gonna apologize to everybody because that's who it seems like to me. Like I just am hyped. Like let me just be gassed up
like she
about it.
becomes Karma. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
Okay. But what's her name in the show? Is it Camille? Is that her name?
I don't know what the fuck her name is. I just know Jace growled the fuck out of her. Jace is like, "Hey, you rich bitch, you rich black bitch. I'ma fuck you with them golden titties." Like, yo, she was like still fully clothed with all that gold she's got on her too, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Naked as fuck. And like, Jace, did you even see her tits, bro?
She didn't look too happy to be waking up alone.
Oh, yo, she was hurt. That bitch
like,
painted for a day and a half. She's like,
yeah.
"Oh, you're back. Well, I'll keep
Like,
painting then." And it was all red and
yeah.
like bloody and shit.
like it was supposed to. The opposite was supposed to happen. She wasn't expecting that.
It was fucking gold, man. It's great writing all the way around, right? They keep it adult and childish enough. So if you have
Yeah.
kids in a room, you know they're fucking. But they did such a good job with Victor putting his blood into the fucking gem
Uh-huh.
to where it's spinning, and it was just fun, man. It was cool the way they did it.
Yeah.
And you're like, all right, I know he's beating the fuck out of that pussy the way they got the galaxy exploding and shit. But at the same time, like you're distracted by them fucking, but you're not so distracted because you're like wondering what's going on with Victor. Like, is that nigga dead?
Yeah,
Is he
exactly.
fusing? Is he fusing with the gem?
Yeah.
At the same time, he's discovering that, oh, life forms help make this fucking thing even better. That's when Heimerdinger rolls in and it's like, yo, this shit ain't fucking, this ain't for kids, bro.
Yeah.
Tricks ain't for kids.
Does Victor, who's he become, or his name stays the same?
No, he's same name.
Same, and
Jace,
same thing.
Jace, same name. Okay. Jinx, same name. Vi, same name. Right? Jinx changed her name, but you can tell, right? Everybody just calls her Jinx from now on.
Now, yeah. Because
yeah, she tossed her former self away.
Yeah, the guy said that Powder needed to die, right, in order for her to survive. So yeah, chapter 3 next week.
Yeah, no, I'm fucking super excited about it. I'm fucking butthurt. Like, this is such a good show. When the show ends, I want more, and I'm upset and waiting for the next fucking thing to come out.
But
and once I'm done,
the next season's gonna it has to be greenlit already.
It has to be, and the fact that there's so many champions to take from. The people that play League of Legends, you're gonna get at least the minimum amount of viewers you will have is what the CW viewers are.
Yeah.
Right. The people that are watching Batwoman right now is the minimum you would have for another season.
Right. And I'm actually very curious. So when they do the next season, I wonder if it's gonna, because right now we have Powder and Vi being like pretty much the main characters.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering if next season that'll change since there's so many champions.
You have to because of how good so many different characters are.
Right.
Right. Somebody that like Dalmacia would be a good one.
Uh-huh.
Where you take Lux. So that second video I sent you last week.
Right.
You seen them motherfuckers, the Noxious or whatever, coming in. They're beating the fuck out of them. And then a chick has her fucking scepter on the ground.
Yeah.
Grabs it. That's Lux. You got Galio over there. You have Garen. Those and Lux. They do a skin for her every fucking minute of the day. Like, they're like, oh, yo, we fucked up the game. Let's just drop a Lux skin. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a fucking going joke with everybody in the League community. It's because she's just such a popular character to everybody. She's so strong. Her kit is so good. Why would you not deal Dalmacia? And there's such cool dudes in there. Like I use Xin Zhao, who's a jungler, and
Mhm.
he's a spear user. And you get into one of the biggest selling fucking things is the medieval times. Right? The reason they're so fucking popular though is all their shit is like magic based. Like they got a lot of magic users on their side.
Right.
So it's not as up to date as the world we're in now. It'd be like throwing it back in time a little bit.
Which is fine because I
Mhm.
mean, even that story, like from what I was seeing, it's pretty badass. Like there were so many wars that they could cover. So it would just make sense for them to cover a different story.
Right? Especially with the template that they use right now.
Right.
But I want it next year at the same time. I'm not gonna fucking wait 9 years for another one. I'm making myself.
I mean, what was it? Lucifer, right? We got 2 seasons in 1 year.
Mhm.
So I mean, it might not even. I mean, it's animated, right? So it takes a little bit longer, but we don't know how many they've made up until this point. There's no way that they didn't know the show wasn't going to be like a hit.
Yeah, who knows? Right? They're very good at fucking setting it for
And predicting trends
for the
and shit
future.
like that.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah,
they do.
yeah.
So
The only issue I have is that they let China buy a piece of them, but
Netflix,
outside of that, that helped them fucking develop a lot faster.
right? I guess we'll wait and see what happens. So
Yeah,
chapter
but
3 next week, right?
yeah, it should be fun. I gotta get my outfit for it. I'll be ready, but we'll smack it up on Sunday night.
There we go. Sunday. We'll see everybody next Monday. Peace.